We're talking with Jay Long, Director of Commercial Insurance at Girardi Insurance Hill Group. Jay, tell us about the acquisition.
We are the Hill Group. Girardi Insurance is a part of the Hill Group Companies, which is a national agency with markets throughout the country. We now have access to additional resources, additional carrier markets that really put us in a place to succeed going forward. Girardi Insurance was around for over 100 years, and we're looking to be around for the next 100 years.
And how's it working out?
Our merger happened several years ago. Customer service with the Hill Group is basically unchanged from Girardi Insurance. If you walked into our office, it's the same faces. And to the customer, it is seamless. But what has improved is that we have state-of-the-art technology, almost unlimited market availability, but above all, we are still driven to keep improving to help provide better advice, guidance, and refining our overall customer experience. The great piece about the Hill Group is that it allows us to continue to have our local relationships, commitment to the community, and national resources.
Girardi Insurance Hill Group. Call 860-928-7771. See them online at girardionline.com.
This is Woodstock Academy Live.
Today's game is brought to you by Busquets Appliances and Danielson and Willimantic. The O'Brien Group, a financial advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. Girardi Insurance Services. The Mansion at Bald Hill.
Jewett City Savings Bank with offices in Brooklyn, Dayville, Plainfield, Preston, Putnam, Pawcatuck, and Jewett City. Member FDIC.
And Ocontrabar Productions, LLC.
He'll pick it up at the 15. He's up to the 20-yard line, to the 25, to the 30, the 35, 40, 45, 50. He could go all the way. Touchdown, Centaurs. Set to serve for the Cadets. Sends it over. Ladd. This is Gronsky over on the outside. Bateau through the block. Lets it go. Here's a shot. The score for Woodstock Academy. Macy Rawson to Rita Rockland. Number 8, Samodio. That ball goes all the way down for Wyndham. And his right front, Rodriguez Arenas, a great goal off of a nice feed. Back to Picorni. She's got a break. Picorni coming in. Picorni over to Dowdle and a goal! Maybe yes for Woodstock Academy. Ball is coming loose, coming down. Here comes Leah Costa, one-on-one with Sturm, and a goal for Woodstock Academy, Leah Costa. And we welcome you to the Bentley Athletic Complex here in Woodstock as we begin our spring broadcast season. You gotta love it. Mark Allard, Dan Vogt, Aiden Soderman along with you from the Bentley Athletic Complex. Boys lacrosse first up here this spring. You see, we had to find the window is what I would call it, okay? When it wasn't 40-mile-an-hour winds and 10-degree temperatures, when it wasn't snowing, when it wasn't pouring rain, or when it wasn't just miserable. So we found our one and only window, and it's on this Thursday.
Yeah. Not ideal weather, but definitely better than we've had, that's for sure.
Not ideal when we're talking about snow coming down tonight. Oh, what are you going to do? Spring in New England. No, it's not. But we're going to get there sooner or later. We hope so anyway. Woodstock Academy, the Centaurs coming in with a 1-1 record on this very young boys lacrosse season. They defeated Norwich Tech 19-2 on Saturday, and then they fell to Ledyard Griswold on Tuesday 13-6 was the final there. But some early, hey, face it, it's going to take some time to get some of the kinks ironed out.
No doubt about that. That's what it's all about, those first few games of the season. And this should be a good one today, a team that they had 2 one-goal games against last year.
7-6 both times between Waterford and Woodstock Academy. Of course, you always look back and you say, well, we lost a lot to graduation. There's no question. Jared Nielsen, 43 goals a year ago. Henry Watton is 19 assists. Lucas Theriak, who almost single-handedly willed the team into the state tournament at the end. Unfortunate, they drew East Lyme, of course, and they finish at 7-10. But a chance for the Centaurs here to kind of get things back together again and really work with a new offensive and, for that matter, a little bit of a new defensive unit.
Yeah, and I think they're looking to maybe win a couple more of those close ones they lost last year, so they're not drawing such a tough matchup in the
not a third meeting with East Lyme. They don't want that again. That is for sure. We had a chance to talk to the head coach of the Centaurs, Jason Tata. We'll be right back with Jason right after this.
Jewett City Savings Bank offers accounts that let you manage, spend, and save money the way you want. Plus, a team of neighbors you can turn to if you have questions or need support. It's the best of both worlds. To learn more or to open an account, visit us at jcsbank.com or stop by your nearest branch. Jewett City Savings Bank, member FDIC.
Recently, the head coach of the Woodstock Academy Centaurs boys lacrosse team, start so far.
1-1 start, baby.
Good, bad, and different.
You know what? Now, definitely wish we came out a little bit more fiery against Ledger, but you know what? Bounce back game. That's all this is. This has been the message for the past couple days. Is bounce.
Well, you had a great game against Norwich Tech offensively, 19-2. You got things going. You scored 5 goals in that first half against Ledyard Griswold, and then they kind of shut you down.
Yeah, we kind of petered out. So when we had got there, we kind of wanted to play a slow game, try to settle into our offense. I think what we did is we took it a little too heavily to heart and got ourselves into a hole, and then it turns into forcing shots. You know, and that's always the tough part. Once you start to fall behind, and we're playing our whole game. So again, bounce back.
And you don't have that real big scorer like last year, at least not yet. I mean, Jared Nielsen had 43 goals for you last year, was a key, no question about it. But you've lost him, you've lost Henry Watton, you lost Lucas Theriak. You've lost that kind of core group that you kind of have to reestablish.
Yeah, but they're going to reestablish themselves. You know, it's going to be a little bit of trial by fire. Luckily, we do have a lot of youth on this team. We got a lot of juniors, good amount of sophomores, so they're going to have to learn and kind of thrown into the fire. You know, a lot of these guys just played JV last year, and now we're thrown into legitimate varsity, meaningful games. So it's a little bit of a shell shock, but I think they're going to settle in just fine.
And
it's a long season.
Dylan Phillips has got 8 goals so far.
Yeah.
He started to at least look for the net.
Yeah, he's starting to, and it's going to be him, but it's going to be all 3 of those attacking back there. It's going to be Gunner, and it's going to be Corey on that opposite side. You know, it's going to take all 3 of those guys because, like you said, we don't have that Jared, but somebody else is going to fill in that Jared spot. It's got to be one of those 3 guys.
Is Corey kind of becoming the Henry Watton of this year? He's up to, I think, he had 4 assists the other day.
Yeah, slowly but surely. He's got great vision, man. I mean, you just watch him when he's working on that wing side or down under X. He has such great vision. He knows where to look for the guys. His teammates put him into good spots, you know. He's got great vision back there. I love it.
And Gunner, a little bit of a slow start, I think.
A little bit.
Is he still coming back from that knee injury?
Yeah, I think it's his wrist, you know, and it's a tough one to come back. Lacrosse is so physical, and you're going to jam in a lot with those wrists. He's going to bounce back. He's going to settle in. You know, he didn't get a chance to play against Norwich Tech, so realistically, he's only got 1 game under his belt since hurting his wrist. He'll bounce back.
Yeah,
he's good.
He might.
Yeah.
You know, the defense, not horrible right now. It's still some work to do.
A lot of, yeah. Always, you know what, no matter what throughout the season, we're looking for ways to improve, ways to get better. We are in no way, shape, or form at the best we're going to be, you know, so we're always looking to get up and get better. Yesterday, we worked a lot of defense, really got those guys dialed in and set up, so hopefully something stuck, you know what I mean?
Well, when we were talking about which game to broadcast, you brought up this game for, and there's a good reason why you want to see this game for on the air, and that's because last year against Waterford, 7-6 was kind of the score. You lost to them here, and you lost to them there by that same score once in overtime.
And if you look back, it's awesome Waterford. I was telling my assistant coach, Drew, you know, I think out of the times that I played Waterford, our goal differential is probably 0. You know, it's always a rock fight with these guys. It's good quality lacrosse. I mean, Paul does a great job with his team. You know, they come in prepared, they come in ready to go. It's always a fun one. I always circle Waterford. I love those games, love those battles. So, yeah, we're excited.
So what do you have to do against these guys today?
We're going to play our game. We're going to play Woodstock Academy lacrosse. We're not going to do anything outside of that. We're going to run our offense how we want to run it, right? We're going to take our time in our offense. We're going to take our time in our clears. We're really going to value that ball, value every possession. Because again, you know, 7-6 type game, that's 1 or 2 possessions, that score's flipped right around. So we got to find quality in every possession.
You just can't slow it down too much.
No, not too slow. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Mark. Not too slow, not too slow.
You got it. Well, best of luck today. Jason Tata, the head coach of the Woodstock Academy Centaurs, will be back with the opening face-off in a moment.
The Quiet Corner Sci-Fi and Comic Experience returns this April, and it's bigger and better than ever. Join us at the Woodstock Fairgrounds April 26th and 27th and experience the experience so extreme, it's now a 2-day event. Where else can you get to meet celebrities, movie franchise fan groups, comic book writers and publishers, and authors of all genres, in addition to those one-of-a-kind items you won't find anywhere else? It's only at the Quiet Corner Sci-Fi and Comic Experience. Tickets are only $10 for adults and $7 for children under 12. Learn more and get your tickets now at theqcexperience.com, presented by the Inn at Woodstock Hill, an Oconchabar Productions event.
We now turn it over to Colin Singleton, Assistant Athletic Director, with today's starting lineups.
And now, let's meet today's starting lineups. First, for our visitors from Waterford. On attack, number 23, Ethan Stellick. At attack, number 4, Alex Bousquet. At attack, number 14, Avery Bonowicz. In the midfield, number 1, Rowan Gata. In the midfield, number 19, Porter Watson. At LSM, number 11, Mason Nosiri. On defense, number 5, Miles Gata. On defense, number 18, Dylan Dahl. On defense, number 22, Carlos Antonelli. And in goal today for the Lancers, number 2, Darian Sherwood. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for your Woodstock Academy Centaurs. At attack, a junior, number 20, Dylan Phillips. At attack, a junior, number 27, Corey LaFond. At attack, a senior, number 23, Gunnar Bassick. In the midfield, a senior, number 10, Keegan Cavello. In the midfield, a junior, number 12, Logan Rumrell. In the midfield, a senior, number 19, Sam Desmond. On defense, a junior, number 18, David Janae. On defense, a sophomore, number 32, Kellen Coleman. On defense, a sophomore, number 40, Ethan Schultz. And in goal today for the Centaurs, a junior, number 15, Kwan Sengasi. The Centaurs are coached by Jason Tata, and he's assisted by Drew Beaupre. At this time, we ask that you please stand if you are able, remove your headwear, and direct your attention to the flag as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
There you have it, our national anthem here at the Bentley Athletic Complex as the Woodstock Academy Centaurs and Waterford Lancer as they get ready to go. Boys lacrosse coming your way on this Thursday, believe it or not, just a couple of days before spring break, which takes place starting on Saturday for most of us, or maybe tomorrow afternoon. Some of us maybe a little bit early. Not me. I'm here tomorrow. But it's kind of interesting. We haven't done a spring game in a little while, any spring games in a little while. So we're hoping this is just the start. Boys lacrosse, girls lacrosse, softball, baseball, and some boys volleyball too. We're going to try to pick up some of those over the course of the next month and a half. The funny thing is that the spring season is packed with games, and it's one of the shortest seasons. About a month and a half, just about, maybe 2 months if you want to push it, but not much more than that.
They pack it in a short period of time.
That they do. Lots of games in a very short period, and here we go. This is game number 3 for the Lancers. I'm going to admit we've been maybe a little bit rusty on these. We haven't done a lacrosse game in a long time. So this will be kind of fun for us as well. 12-minute quarters for those who have not familiar entirely with the rules. If any team goes up by more than 12 goals in the second half, it does go to running time. That running time does not end, even if they come back down underneath 12. So that's just there. There are some overtime rules. You play 4 minutes per quarter, and it's sudden death. And you play until you get a goal.
Yeah, and that is a very possibility that we see overtime if it's like it was last year with these two teams.
No, like we said, 7-6, not once, but twice. The Woodstock Academy Centaurs coming out in the white jerseys and the navy blue shorts, and the Waterford Lancers in the I guess you could call it royal blue and red, if you will, for the Lancers, a typical color combination for them. But we are in spring, and we're back outside after being inside the rinks and the courts and everything else. Now we come back outside, which is kind of nice. So good way to finish up the year here at Woodstock Academy. Just about set for the face-off at center circle. For the Centaurs out there was Keegan Covello up against Rowan Gaeta for Waterford. Set, and the ball is still fought for, and Rowan Gaeta is going to win that face-off. Gaeta, a senior for the Lancers, down that far side. Heavy-duty check out there by Logan Rumrill. The ball bounced out. Centaurs take possession. Back we go with Keegan Covello running the offense. He pushes it forward up to Sam Desmond. Desmond in the middle, flashing across that middle was Logan Rumrill, just could not get a stick on it, and the ball goes out.
Yeah, just let him a little too much there.
Yep. Looking for a nice pass in the middle. And now the Lancers trying to reset from their backside. And a call on the field. And the officials will confer. This is the other thing, too. In early games like this, not only are the teams getting their everything together, but so are, like the officials in this case, getting their act together a little bit.
Absolutely. Everybody's going to be a little bit rusty. And
a little bit chilly, to be honest. It's not exactly the warmest out here right now. I was just looking around for something. Did someone steal my clipboard? It's in my hand. I'm like, where's my clipboard? Oh, it's over here. Oh, my gosh, it's been a long week. Just getting longer as we go. Ball bounces loose, popped up in the air. It'll come down to Desmond for the Centaurs. He'll run up that far side, tripped up as he came across. No flag.
Late.
Was there a late flag?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, they did.
Coach maybe talked him into it, but I think it's the right call.
Yeah, Jason Tatum was over there saying, come on, where's the flag? So the Centaurs will pick up possession. And with the ball out there was Dylan Phillips. He will kind of send it down back behind to Gunnar Basak, back in the X. Basak operating and trying to get through that wrist injury he had. Corey LaFond is over here to the near side. They get it over to Seamus Coleman, who tried to get it back to Basak, and Basak will be the first one back there.
Oh, they're calling
Did they rule a shot or not? I guess they did,
yeah,
okay, because Basak will get it back. Okay, here's LaFond with the ball. LaFond comes back over to this near side. Got it back over to Seamus Coleman, inside to Dylan Phillips. Dylan with 8 goals so far this season, leading the way for the Centaurs. This is LaFond. LaFond back over to Seamus Coleman. Coleman sends it back over to Dylan Phillips. They get it into the middle. Here comes Gunnar Basak across the middle, shoots, and a save on that one.
And that is Sherwood in there.
Yes, it is. Darian Sherwood, I should say. So a shot and a save by Sherwood, that one. And the Lancers, who have not really had a lot of offense so far, they tried to get the ball downfield to Alex Busquet. That one rolls all the way to the back, and it will be Woodstock ball.
Quick turnover there.
Absolutely. Kellen Coleman. Okay. They roll the ball out of there through the Lancers D. It rolls all the way down to Jason Tata. I don't think he's wearing a uniform. So that ball will actually stay on the Centaurs' possession. Will stay in the Centaurs' possession, however. Dylan Phillips over on that far side. Phillips to bring it out of there. Little stutter step on his way through. Trying to get a little help, and he delivers it over to Patrick Griswold. Griswold back behind the net to Bassick. Bassick used a little screen by LaFond over to Sam Desmond. Sherwood's all set to go out there, watching everything. In net, Phillips to Desmond. Desmond over on that right side, back over to Griswold. Griswold tries to work his way through. They get it into a flash for Desmond, and it just went flying by the net.
Yeah, he got him point blank, and I don't think Sherwood quite was ready for it, but he just whistled it wide.
He did. Bassick with the ball over to LaFond. LaFond working his way back into the middle. Low runner. Sherwood on the save there.
And that might have gone off the top post there.
It did. It hit his stick first, and then it might have rebounded off the post. LaFond slaps at the ball, gets the ball, and they're going to get a call against the Centaurs. Waterford with the ball, trying to go the other way. They'll give it to Sherwood first to start things. Throwing it back into the midfield. Picked up there by the Lancers. Just underway, 8:18 to go, first quarter, no score. Lancers trying to get some offense going here. Have not really had much late to start with. Porter Watson with the ball for the Lancers. Gets it over to Ethan Stellick. As Waterford decides to do some substitution here.
It's similar to hockey. They can sub on the fly.
They can. Stellick held on to the ball. Down into the corner. Alex Busquet back over to Stellick. Stellick maneuvering around, trying to get away from the long stick committee of Logan Delfarn. Actually, number 18, I should say, that's David Janae. One of the stalwarts on defense for the Centaurs is Janae. The Lancers with the ball. Trying to come on through there. Firing, and that bounced in front of Sangassi. It will be ruled a shot. It will stay with the Lancers. No save. That bounced well in front of Sangassi. Back over on the far side. Lancers trying to set something up over there. Stellick has rotated over to that side, has the ball, comes on in, tries to get through some traffic. Ball was stripped away, picked up and shoveled to Desmond. Desmond will race it up the field. Desmond sends it over to LaFond. LaFond into the middle, back to Desmond. Desmond shoot. That's a save by Sherwood using his right foot, I think, or maybe left foot.
That was a nice save there.
Yeah. It was one of the foots, let's put it that way. Just was enough to turn it aside from Desmond. Fourth shot by the Centaurs.
Yeah, Centaurs have a couple good opportunities so far.
This is Busquet with the ball for the Lancers. No score here. There's 6:20 to go in the first quarter. Junior midfielder Alex Busquet. The Lancers in no hurry. They've been making a lot of shifts offensively.
Yeah, holding the ball, getting the personnel they want out there.
Busquet looks to the middle. Gets it over to Luke Westcott. Back out to the far side. Trying to make an advanced shot. That's blocked by Sangassi. So a shot and a save. Ball is still loose on the ground. Who will pick up the ground ball? Waterford, another shot and a save. That one off of Stellick.
A good opportunity for Waterford on a turnover there, but
Sangassi up to the
task.
Yeah.
Yep.
Managed to make a couple. Ball's down the far side. Picked up there by Griswold, who tries to send it forward. That ball may go out and does, as Lancers will get that one back. It's been some shots, but the goalies have been up to the task, up to the challenge. Dylan Phillips with the ball, sends it back to Bassick, back behind the net in the X position. Just could not get the forward flashing in. Ball is popped loose, and LaFond tries to pick it up. Ball goes straight up in the air. LaFond tracks it down. Looks over at Seamus Coleman, keeps the ball himself, sends it into the middle to Bassick, who is coming over from the X. And they're going to give the ball over to Waterford. As the first one back there was Sherwood.
Definitely seen a lot of the shots going low early, trying to get them up in the...
Use the turf to your advantage. There is a wind, but that wind is not going to affect the ball that much. It's not that. It's breezy, let's put it that way, but I wouldn't call it any kind of gusty situation like we had here just the past couple of days. Back behind the net is Bassick. Bassick looking for some help from LaFond, and he'll give it to him again. Centaurs have been probably a little bit more organized offensively, I would say.
I would agree with that.
Keegan Cavello into the middle. The shot and another save by Sherwood off the shot by Bassick.
Yeah, Sherwood's been very solid in there.
Waterford trying to pick up that loose ball, and they do. The ground ball coming down to Alex Busquet. Busquet gets it over to Cole Baumgartner. Actually, that's Ben Dubicki right in front of us. Dubicki being taken on by Ethan Schultz. Cavello sitting back as well. They have plenty of time to sit back and decide what they want because Waterford is very,
and they've started kind of in that same little spot there.
Exactly.
30-yard line marker.
Just very practical and, kind of taking their time offensively. I don't know if either team really has the offensive firepower. Certainly the Centaurs, they don't have what they had last year. They're just trying to redevelop that from last year. As we mentioned at the top, Jared Nielsen, 43 goals, 17 assists. They don't have that right now. Dylan Phillips with 8 goals so far. That's not bad. There's a shot and a goal for Waterford. Braden Wheeler coming in to get that shot to go.
Yeah, that might have gone right between Sangassi's legs, perhaps.
So Braden Wheeler gets the first goal for Waterford, makes it a 1-0 lead for the Lancers at the 3:14 mark here of this first quarter. Wheeler just came into that left side of Sangassi, and he didn't have a lot of opportunity. He wasn't far out, let's put it that way. Didn't give a lot of opportunity to kind of react to that shot. Keegan Cavello and Rowan Gaeta once again in the face-off circle. Rowan won the first one for the Lancers, and he wins the second one for the Lancers. Although you would get it back is the question. For it. Still out there loose, but the Lancers will get it. Then they drop it again, and it's on the ground. Rowan Gaeta tries to pick it up again. The ball is still loose on the ground. It'll be tracked down. Camden Marshall for the Centaurs. It will be picked up by the Lancers, and then it's going to roll it to Sherwood. Seems to be the best way to kind of calm things down a little bit. And then up ahead to Busquet. Will they settle down into their normal style here, conservative, if you will? Stop at the 30. Yep. There you go. We got it.
Reset, get some personnel on.
Yep, we'll move some things around a little bit. So Busquet will give the ball over to Luke Westcott, who's back into the middle. Westcott will set things up from the middle now. Everybody watching the cut, that cut coming down from Nolan Gonzalez, but he opts to stay well outside. They do get the ball down a little bit deeper, trying to maneuver. And coming through once again, sending it back over to Westcott to fire. That one is going to go off a Waterford player and stays with who is the question. Waterford's going to come out of there with it. The ball actually hit a Waterford player to the side of Sangassi. And then Waterford was able to keep it going. Stellick with the ball again. Knocked away by the Centaurs. Going down is Westcott. Yeah, they're going to get called for it. So the Lancers will get the ball back with Westcott. Gets it over to Stellick. Trying to drive it through, sends it in, and Sangassi able to catch it.
Yeah, nice save there. That time they went up high. They didn't go with the low shot. Sangassi was up to task.
With the ball for the Centaurs, Camden Marshall trying to get through there. Ball is knocked away and out of his stick. Picked up by Miles Gaeta of the Lancers. Corey LaFond tries to challenge him, but he gets it over to his long stick mid. They bring it back out down that far sideline. Stellick is not going to be able to get to that one as it was knocked down. Picked up by whom?
Still
the ball is
loose
still
there.
loose out there.
Under a minute here in the quarter.
Actually, it was number 40, not number 10. Ethan Schultz on that ball. Tried to get it to Sangassi. He has to basically cover it with his stick to keep it away from Alex Busquet. And Sangassi over to that far side. They send it back into the middle, and it'll be picked up by the Lancers. Back the other way we go. Sends it in. Sangassi with the save. Nice job off the shot from number 14, Avery Bonowitz. So the Lancers have managed to equal it up in shots, and they own a 1-0 lead in the final 18 seconds here of this first quarter. Down that far side we go.
Got to be aware of the clock here.
They sent it in, and Sherwood got in the middle of that passing route. And they give the ball up to Dubicki. Dubicki up ahead. Here's Busquet, and that's going to end the first quarter. 1 quarter in the books. The Waterford Lancers up on top of the Woodstock Academy Centaurs by the score of 1-0.
Do you have questions about your retirement, such as when will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How can I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? If so, you're not alone. As a financial advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC, the O'Brien Group can help you find the answers with the exclusive, confident retirement approach. We will work with you one-on-one to understand your goals and discuss the 4 key needs of retirement, including covering your essentials, ensuring lifestyle, preparing for the unexpected, and leaving a legacy. From there, we will work together to develop a retirement roadmap with clear steps you can take to help you live more confidently today and tomorrow. Call me, Pat O'Brien, today at 860-208-9913. Our office is located at 50 Canal Street in downtown Putnam, Connecticut.
The confident retirement approach is not a guarantee of future financial results. Investment advisory products and services are made available through Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. We're talking with Jay Long, Director of Commercial Insurance at Girardi Insurance Hill Group. Jay, tell us about the acquisition.
We are the Hill Group. Girardi Insurance is a part of the Hill Group Companies, which is a national agency with markets throughout the country. We now have access to additional resources, additional carrier markets that really put us in a place to succeed going forward. Girardi Insurance was around for over 100 years, and we're looking to be around for the next 100 years.
And how's it working out?
Our merger happened several years ago. Customer service with the Hill Group is basically unchanged from Girardi Insurance. If you walked into our office, it's the same faces, and to the customer, it is seamless. But what has improved is that we have state-of-the-art technology, almost unlimited market availability, but above all, we are still driven to keep improving to help provide better advice, guidance, and refining our overall customer experience. The great piece about the Hill Group is that it allows us to continue to have our local relationships, commitment to the community, and national resources.
Girardi Insurance Hill Group. Call 860-928-7771. See them online at girardionline.com.
And we welcome you back to the Bentley Athletic Complex. 1-0 in favor of Waterford. New 12 minutes up on the clock. Second quarter action here. Waterford comes out with the ball first. As coming away with that one was Tyler Welch. They get it up forward. Get it over to Stellick. Stellick will bring it back outside in the normal Waterford fashion. Brings it way outside as they move people around to get the, like you say, the personnel that they want out there. Bonowitz with the ball now for Waterford. As he's being watched out there by the Centaurs. Donovan Manis out there for Woodstock Academy, just keeping an eye, keeping them well outside. They kind of flash one into the middle, but they decide not to send it that way. As holding on to it is Bonowitz. Now he moves in as Sangassi pays attention. Bonowitz gives it up to Stellick. Stellick fires and a save by Sangassi. And the ball will stay with Waterford. Bonowitz was the person closest to the ball in the back. Bonowitz comes back from behind the net. That one's blocked by Sangassi. And that one should go with Woodstock because Sangasi was back there first.
Yep.
And indeed, that's going to be the case. They send it downfield, picked up there. With the ball, the Lancers, Centaurs fighting for it. It'll be hard hit out there by the Lancers. Some are asking for a flag, and we'll see exactly what we're going to get from the officials. And while we're waiting on that, the officials will confer on this one. There is a flag on the field. We do have a score. There are some other games going on. We'll try to keep you up to date on. Right now, Woodstock Academy girls lacrosse taking on New London, and the Centaurs trail 3-1. Kaylee Saucier from Clara Dowdle so far on the only goal in that one. So that one's after the first quarter there. And I know we have baseball going on today, and we have softball going on today, so we have all sorts of things going on today.
Yeah, I know baseball's excited to finally get back out there.
Yeah, first time out.
Defending state champs.
And they're finally, I think, going to try to play. Let's see what we got here. Lyman right now, Woodstock Academy leads Lyman 1-0. And Woodstock Academy girls lead the Montville squad 2-1. I'm trying to pick up here as we go through. We're going to go to that one first and see what inning we're in anyway, if we can, as the ball is tossed around on the outside. Centaurs with it. They send it across. Picked up there by Dylan Phillips. Phillips comes in against Sherwood. He's got a goal for Woodstock Academy. Ties it up at 1. Dylan Phillips, a little bit of his own, moving around out there. No real assist on that one. Got the ball a little bit tight in, but then made several moves of his own to tie it up.
Yeah, he did. As soon as he got it, looked like he had a clean shot, but he decided to keep it and get a little closer and finished it off.
The Woodstock Academy Lyman game, by the way, in the top of the third, Centaurs leading that one 2-0 for baseball-wise. And over in softball, we'll give you where they are at, 2-1, and they are in the bottom of the third as well. So Centaurs leading in both situations and tied here in boys lacrosse. With the ball is Rowan Gata for the Lancers. Gata, we're calling for timeout, and I think they finally got it over on the far side. So with 9:52, we have a timeout on the field here. 9:52 left to go in the first half. 1-1 the score between Woodstock Academy and Waterford.
Make your next night out a simply memorable one. The mansion at Bald Hill on Plain Hill Road in Woodstock has only you in mind. Your comfort is their mission, your pleasure is their goal, and your happiness is their reward. The mansion at Bald Hill is a historic landmark that has taken on a new life as a premier restaurant and an elegant bed and breakfast, residing in the quiet corner of northeastern Connecticut. With on-site catering and an upscale banquet center, the mansion is private and secluded, offering the perfect setting for a delicious meal, special getaway, or private event. The Mansion at Bald Hill welcomes you and looks forward to your visit, whether it be for dinner, an overnight stay, or a weekend getaway for that special occasion. The Mansion at Bald Hill on Plain Hill Road in Woodstock. Simply put, spectacular. Treat yourself. You deserve it. Call the Mansion at Bald Hill at 860-974-3456. That's 860-974-3456. Or visit them on Facebook, Instagram, or Pinterest.
We're back with you here at the Bentley Athletic Complex. 1-1 the score. A couple minutes into the second quarter, as the Lancers called the timeout, we'll have the ball on their side of the field. I do believe Stellick was the person who was the last person to have it. So he should be going over and getting possession of it, and does. Stellick with the ball. Stellick brings it outside, back towards midfield, and then we'll turn and go the other direction. Being bothered out there once again by David Janae, Janae's not letting him get too far away. Back behind the net it goes. As with it is Bousquet. He'll bring it back out close to the 40. Over to Bonowitz. Bonowitz brings it over to the other side. It's one thing about I don't have to worry about talking too much here. You can just watch the action and let them go through. And there's a shot and a score for Bonowitz coming right in front. They've been very, very patient. Patience paid off that time. So a 2-1 lead for Waterford after Bonowitz scores on that one. Just flashed into the middle, found the opening, and got the shot off. With 9:09 to go here in the second quarter, a 2-1 lead for the Waterford Lancers. 2 7-6 games last time round. The Lancers came in 1-0. The only game they played was against an interesting co-op, Montville Killingly Hale Ray.
I was
you figured that
telling
one
our
out.
cameraman about that earlier. It's an interesting.
I don't know how Killingly and Hale Ray get to Montville. that seems like a long distance journey. Let's put it that way. Call will go over to the Centaurs. The ball will be. So back we go with the other way with Keegan Cavello. Cavello up ahead to Dylan Phillips. Phillips gets it over to Logan Rumrill. Rumrill tried to get it back to Phillips. Phillips will bring it around the far side, well, near side, I should say. Back behind the net to Bassick. Back over to Phillips. They get the ball to Rumrill. Back into the middle. This is Phillips on the shot, and a goal! He got it in! Phillips had that one bounce right in front of Sherwood and then stayed under the pipe to tie it up.
Yeah, that was an impressive shot right there. Very accurate as well with the left side.
Yeah, that one kind of did a nice bounce because it just bounced just over and then hit almost just fell either just under or may even have nicked the pipe and then stayed in. So a 2-2 score with 8:29 left to go here in the second quarter. Another face-off in the middle, Keegan Cavello and Rowan Gaeta. Ball is down, and it will be Gaeta who comes away with it. Gaeta sends it over to Sherwood. Sherwood up ahead to the long stick of number 22, Carlos Antonelli. Up ahead to Stellick. This is the Lancers that do a nice job of just kind of lulling you to sleep and then flashing someone into the middle.
That's sort of what happened on that second goal. They kind of lulled him to sleep is right. Kind of just surprised him.
With the ball is number 9, Westcott. Goes out to Griffin Bergamo, who's out there now. Lots of shifting on this Waterford team as well. Bergamo is now on front along with Jamison Smith, and Smith has got the ball. Over to Stellick. Stellick will work his way back behind the net. Bonowitz comes over. He owns a goal for the Lancers. Bonowitz has it, sends it, and a nice job by Sengassi to turn it aside. Yeah. The ball will remain with Waterford.
Nice save there. Bonowitz looking for a second in a row. Turned away.
Back behind the net is Bousquet. Gets it over to Stellick. Looking for that cutter. Jamison Smith with the ball. Everybody yelling cutter because that's what the Lancers do pretty well. Smith to Bergamo. Cavello just watching him. 6:48 to go here in the second quarter. Bergamo will bring it back outside. Bergamo over on that far right side. Back behind the net it goes. Back there is Bonowitz. Bonowitz coming over to Stellick. Stellick sends it in, and a low runner that just went under the leg. And the Lancers will have another opportunity here.
Yeah, almost an underhanded shot there,
Yeah.
right to the ground. His basket was low. Just whistled it wide.
Back behind the net is Bonowitz. To Stellick. Back outside to Smith. To Bergamo. Far side, right on the side of the net is Bonowitz. Actually, Bousquet, who will bring it back out. Stellick fakes one way, goes the other, gets the goal.
Yeah.
Faked it right, went left.
That was a nice individual move right there for Stellick.
Ethan Stellick, the senior attack for the Lancers. Puts the Lancers up 3-2 with 5:56 to go here in this second quarter.
Kind of did a little up and under type move right there.
Gaeta and Cavello to face off. And it will be Gaeta who comes away. He's a pretty good face-off
very
person.
good. Yes, he has.
He's
right.
been very effective out there for the Lancers. And Gaeta brings it downfield. Gaeta sends it back behind the net to Bousquet. Actually, that's Bonowitz, number 14. That sun is in an awful angle right now, you know. Just hitting us right in the face, but I'm not complaining because it's a little bit warmer.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but a little bit.
The wind's been pretty calm, which has been nice.
Now, if we can just keep that snow out of here that they've been talking about all day long, that would be nice if we don't have any snow.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be talking about snow in April.
Nolan Gonzalez.
But they are.
Yeah, I know. That's why we're doing this game today, because who knows tomorrow, you know. Dubicki with the ball for the Lancers. Dubicki tries to get through and pulls it back. I know the Centaurs baseball game against Rockville for Saturday has already been postponed, moved to May. Coming through is Bousquet, but he hit it behind the net.
I don't think he knew quite where he was.
Yeah.
See, he was taking a beat and getting there, but he got to the spot, but didn't know where he was.
Yep, kind of went behind the net instead, but the Lancers retained possession as they were the first to the ball. Bonowitz will come through. Looking for that cutter. That one went through Bousquet a little bit, and he'll come back out. But the Lancers are able to keep it going with Gonzalez. Falling down is Stellick with the ball. Just threw it up in the air, and it will come down to, I think, Stellick. Actually, it was Gonzalez who comes back out with it.
Hasn't been able to come with the loose balls.
Yeah, the ground balls have kind of betrayed them a little bit. That shot goes wide of Sangassi, but it will be Woodstock ball on that one, as Sangassi was the closest one to it. Lancers right now 7-2 in shots here in the second quarter. Dylan Phillips cannot track that one down.
Yeah, it was a pretty even first quarter, but Woodstock, Waterford's definitely a little better to play in this quarter.
Sherwood sends it up, be taken off there by Ben Dubicki. The call will go against the Lancers. Logan Rumrill with the ball for the Centaurs. Trying to get it over to Desmond. That ball's taken away by the Lancers as Desmond could not control. Bousquet with the ball. He'll race it down the field. Back behind the net. Picked up there by Donovan Manis. And the Lancers again taking their time.
Yeah, both teams getting a few new bodies out here.
And we're going to have a little, just standing there. Bousquet is like, okay, I'm just going to stand, wait, and watch. See what happens. It's almost like basketball, except you don't have to dribble. The delay game.
No shot clock
Yeah,
here.
the delay game is on. 3:11 left to go in the second quarter. Back behind the net is Bonowitz. Yeah, the Lancers are in no particular hurry. Bonowitz looked at Stellick, then takes off and goes the other way to the left. Then loses the ball, and then go back over to the Lancers. They get it over to Sangassi. Kellen Coleman got the ball to his goalie.
See if Woodstock can set up their offense here with a couple, 2.5 minutes left.
Sangassi looked at Janae and then decides to give it instead to the other side. They'll send it downfield with Donovan Menace just launching it. Sherwood comes up and take it away. Sherwood bumps the offense out of the way, and Miles Gata picked it up for the Lancers. Then he lost control of it. Phillips comes up right in front is number 23, Gunnar Bassick. Got it from Phillips.
Yeah, Bassick was just waving his stick around saying, I'm open, and he finally found him, and he finished.
Yep, Phillips got it to him, and we've got a 3-all game. Okay, some other more updates. Woodstock still leading 2-0 over Lyman, and a 4-1 lead for the Centaurs over Montville in softball. 2-0 baseball, 4-1 softball. Softball taking place at the Commons Field right up the road. Baseball, meanwhile, taking place in Lebanon. So the Centaurs up on top in both of those. And here, all tied at 3.
It's shaping up to a pretty similar score to the last 2 times.
That's kind of what we figured it would be. The Lancers come away with the ball once again. Malachi Hall, or Malachi Hall, comes away with the ball. Up ahead, and that ball was bounced right by Sangassi. It will be Bonowitz who gets to it first, and it will be Lancer ball? Yes. So Bonowitz will take his time. Thank you for joining us on our first broadcast of the spring season. The last season of the 2024-25 school year, believe it or not. Bonowitz back behind the net. Bonowitz spinning around out there. Gets it in front to Bousquet, but he just could not get a handle on it. Lancers will retain possession. Stellick with the ball. To the near side, Dubicki. Over into the middle, that's Bergamo. Far side, Westcott spins. Looking for some help, gives it up to Dubicki. He lost it. Picked up by, Stellick kind of kept it away from the defense. Now the Centaurs finally get it back. Well, kind of. Stellick comes over and takes it away from Kellen Coleman.
Yeah, Coleman just tried to whack it down the field a little further, but missed.
It's tough when you're playing with a long stick. There's no question. This is Bousquet with the ball. And we started calling him Bousquet because obviously we have Bousquet's appliances here. We were corrected. It is Bousquet. But you can understand why we'd call him Bousquet. So we assume there's no relation. Let's put it that way. Back behind the net is Bonowitz. Bonowitz spinning around out there. Got it over to Stellick, and that ball goes over the top of Sangassi. Waterford will retain.
16 seconds here.
Unbelievable. It's been going by pretty quick, but the Lancers have made it go by pretty quick. They probably have dominated possession, and they've dominated shots, but they're tied on the scoreboard, which is the most important thing.
Gotta fire it.
Desmond with the ball, and he's not going to get a chance to do so. Ran out of time running it down the field. So we've played one half here at the Bentley Athletic Complex. We have a tie game between Woodstock Academy and Waterford. 3 apiece. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
Hi, this is Jeff Bousquet.
And Kaylin Bousquet of Steve Bousquet's Appliance and TV, your hometown appliance store. We've been committed to providing the lowest prices and best customer service in the area for over 35 years, and we are excited to continue this tradition at our newest location, now open at 600 Main Street in Willimantic. We carry and service your favorite and most trusted brands of appliances, TVs, and furniture.
We know you've all heard about back orders in the appliance industry, but at Bousquet's, our salespeople can find you what you're looking for in stock and ready to be delivered. Amana washers and dryers are only $4.89 each. Whirlpool front-load washers and dryers are only $8.49 each and can handle a king-size comforter. Frigidaire 18-cubic-foot refrigerators are only $6.75. And just arriving, a new batch of Scratch and Dent appliances at our Willimantic store. Scratch and Dent are brand new with a full warranty. We have 18-cubic-foot refrigerators for $5.99. Side-by-side refrigerators start at $8.99. And remember, at Bousquet's, we service everything we sell and take a year to pay interest-free.
Check us out at one of our locations in Danielson and Willimantic or online at Bousquet'sAppliance.com. Pay more, what for?
And right now, Busquets Appliances, they're going to save you money no matter what. Save hundreds on scratch and dent and Whirlpool. French door refrigerator scratch and dent, regular $24.99, now only $9.99 each. Side-by-side refrigerators scratch and dent, regular $12.99, now only $4.99 each. And electric dryers scratch and dent, regular $6.99, now only $3.99 each at Busquets Appliances in Danielson and Willimantic.
Do you have questions about your retirement, such as when will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How can I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? If so, you're not alone. As a financial advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC, the O'Brien Group can help you find the answers with the exclusive, confident retirement approach. We will work with you one-on-one to understand your goals and discuss the 4 key needs of retirement, including covering your essentials, ensuring lifestyle, preparing for the unexpected, and leaving a legacy. From there, we will work together to develop a retirement roadmap with clear steps you can take to help you live more confidently today and tomorrow. Call me, Pat O'Brien, today at 860-208-9913. Our office is located at 50 Canal Street in downtown Putnam, Connecticut.
The confident retirement approach is not a guarantee of future financial results. Investment advisory products and services are made available through Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, a registered investment advisor.
We're back with you at the Bentley Athletic Complex. 3-3 the score between Woodstock Academy and Waterford boys lacrosse coming your way on this Thursday. Some other scores that we have for you. 3-1 right now. The Woodstock Academy Centaurs girls lacrosse team trailing the New London Whalers. That one down in the southeast portion of the state. Let's see if we can get you some other scores here as we go through. Going through our wonderful electronic things that we do have. 5-1 Woodstock Academy right now leads Montville. We're in the bottom of the top of the 6th in that contest. That one's going quick.
Moving on quick, yeah.
Yeah, 5-1 Woodstock Academy leads Montville. That's one in the top of the 6th in softball over at the Commons. And then we move over to baseball-wise. Centaurs still leading that one by a score of 2-0. That one is in the bottom of the 4th. Brady Erickson right now is, I do believe, pitching in here from what I can see. 2 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts. Well, that probably figures. However, looks like we have a reliever in there. I have to double check that one, but I think we do have a reliever in there for Brady Erickson. So probably the way Connor Elliott's going to do it a little bit this year, and that is bring in Brady and get things started, get a little lead, and then kind of use your pitching staff to the best of your abilities.
Yeah, he's a nice weapon to have, but you want to keep him fresh all year too.
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, he is going to be a key no matter what you do. So you got to make sure he is healthy as well. So far in that game, RBIs-wise, 1 each for Hayden Maloney and Matt Hernandez for the 2-0 lead there in the bottom of the 4th. For the softball team, meanwhile, we can give you some stats from them. Let's see. RBIs-wise for the Centaurs, 2 for Ellery Sampson. She has been clubbing the ball the first couple of games. Yeah. She already has a home run as well, and that's not easy to do at the Commons because you do have to run aways most of the time. So she's had 2 RBIs in that contest, also having an RBI, a couple of other RBIs here. Madison Bloom has an RBI as well. So Kaya Nichols, again, throwing for the Centaurs. Grace Del Santo has an injury right now, so waiting for her to come back as well. So Kaya Nichols has been kind of getting the call for the Centaurs in that one as they hope to go to 2-0 on the season after a 22-8 win over Lyman. Isn't it always figure? I was watching that game for a little while on Tuesday. And, you know, when it's, like I said, 10 degrees and the wind's blowing 40 miles an hour, you're hoping for a quick game, right? No, 2.5 hours later, that's the way that one went. It just did not want to end. Fortunately for the Centaurs, when they did, they walked away with a 22-8 victory over Lyman, which is always good to have, and start the season off on the right way. After all, if you're going to stay out there in the cold, you at least want to get a win out of it, right?
Yeah, and be running around those bases to stay warm.
That would be a good point. No question about that.
22 times.
We are tied here at the half, 3-3. We'll be back with second half action from the Bentley Athletic Complex in just a moment.
The Quiet Corner Sci-Fi and Comic Experience returns this April, and it's bigger and better than ever. Join us at the Woodstock Fairgrounds April 26th and 27th and experience the experience so extreme, it's now a 2-day event. Where else can you get to meet celebrities, movie franchise fan groups, comic book writers and publishers, and authors of all genres? In addition to those one-of-a-kind items you won't find anywhere else, it's only at the Quiet Corner Sci-Fi and Comic Experience. Tickets are only $10 for adults and $7 for children under 12. Learn more and get your tickets now at theqcexperience.com, presented by the Inn at Woodstock Hill, an Oconchabar Productions event.
Jewett City Savings Bank offers accounts that let you manage, spend, and save money the way you want. Plus, a team of neighbors you can turn to if you have questions or need support. It's the best of both worlds. To learn more or to open an account, visit us at jcsbank.com or stop by your nearest branch. Jewett City Savings Bank, member FDIC.
And we welcome you back to the Bentley Athletic Complex. 3-3 between Woodstock Academy and Waterford. The Centaurs trying to pick up their second win in 3 matches here. The Lancers trying to go 2-0 on the season. And so far, goals-wise, it has gone like this for Woodstock Academy. Dylan Phillips picked up a couple of goals so far. Those are number 9 and 10 on the season for the junior. Also getting one for the Centaurs was Gunnar Bassick coming out from the X spot to get his second goal of the year for Woodstock Academy. Meanwhile, for Waterford, they've had 3 different goal scorers, as picking up the first one was Braden Wheeler in the first quarter. The only goal of the first quarter was by Braden Wheeler. Everything else happened in the second, as Avery Bonowitz picked one up for Waterford there, and so did number 23, Ethan Stellick, for the Lancers. So that's where we're at, 3 apiece here between these two teams.
Yeah, kind of what we expected coming in. Tight game, not too many goals. Just who can take advantage of their opportunities.
We have an update for you as well from the other lacrosse contest, the girls lacrosse contest. New London right now leads the Centaurs 5-2, 7:20 left in the third quarter. Emma Forcier scored for the Centaurs for their second goal. Kaylee Saucier had the first one for the Centaurs in the first half. So the Centaurs there trying to get they were 1-1 on the season. They were hoping for a little bit better down there in New London, but right now the way things going the Whalers' way. As the Lancers get set to go here against the Centaurs here one more time in the second half of play. Lots of games will be taking place, of course, over the break, but we're not going to be doing any because the guy to my right is disappearing on us. Let's put it that way.
A rare vacation for me.
A
yes.
vacation?
Yes.
What is that? I'd like to know what a vacation is, okay? But that's not going to happen for me. I'll be around, but we're not going to be doing any games. We will be picking up again on the other side of the break. And hopefully we'll be getting you for the first time in a while some baseball and softball as well as lacrosse and volleyball. So it'll be we're going to try to do some interesting things this year. Let's put it that way. Will we be able to pull it off? We'll find out.
We're going to try.
We're going to try, as we've always done. We've done some funky things in our time, but we're going to try to get at least some more of those games coming your way as well this spring. Something we didn't get a chance to do the past, I think it's 2 years. So it'll be a first chance to get some other ones in here and hopefully get some spring sports coming your way on Woodstock Academy Live. And by the way, Woodstock Academy Live is live tomorrow, 8:15 a.m., as we have a special Woodstock Academy Sports Communications preview show. The Woodstock Academy baseball team will be featured on that, as will the Woodstock Academy prep soccer team. We have a class that has been working in broadcasting, and they'll actually be putting together the sportscast. Lasts about 15 or 20 minutes. Might want to check it out right here on Woodstock Academy Live on both our Woodstock Academy YouTube channel as well as the Woodstock Academy website. 8:15 tomorrow morning, that broadcast will take place. So have the students doing the live broadcast instead of you and I. Gaeta wins the faceoff again. Rowan Gaeta has kind of owned the faceoff out there for the Lancers. Gets the stick knocked out of the hands of number 32, Kellen Coleman. And then he gives up the ball to Bousquet. Alex Bousquet, now he'll kind of walk his way over to the 30 or so. And then they'll just look for the cutter. They'll try to get everybody sleeping a little bit, and then they'll just wait for their time to happen. So Bousquet taking his time and looking over at Braden Wheeler. Now they decide to get something happening here. Bousquet gets moving. Sends it back over to Stellick, back behind the net. Operating kind of as the X, but he's also a wing. They send this down across over the top of Sangassi. And they will say the Lancers will retain possession of that ball as they were closest to it. This is Wheeler. Owns a goal already today. And he will bring it outside. The wind has actually dropped off nicely. And the sun is actually held on here. Hopefully it will stay out for the remainder of this one.
That'd be nice, yes.
Well, the nice thing is the days are a lot longer, okay? Bonowitz with the ball over to Wheeler. Slapped around a little bit by Coleman. Getting through there is Wheeler, keeps the ball, and wheels his way back outside. Back behind the net is Stellick. He's picked up out there by David Genet. Back behind the net with Sangassi. Stellick spinnings. Stellick sends it over to the corner. They get it back over to Dubicki. Dubicki tries to control it, manages to do so before Desmond slaps it away. Dubicki brings it back around, try to get it to his teammate behind, and it goes out. It'll be last touched by Waterford. It'll go back over to Woodstock Academy.
Good defensive stand there by Woodstock.
Couple of minutes ticked off the clock there. No real shot either by the Lancers on that one.
No, yeah, Wheeler kind of wheeled through there, but never
took a shot.
Just kept the ball the whole time,
Ethan Schultz lost control of the ball, picked up by the Lancers. This is Bousquet. Bousquet works his way around. Bousquet will go right behind the net and begin to set up house. Well, he won't have to because Stellick took the shot. It goes wide. And it'll stay with the Lancers as Bonowitz is the first one to it. Bonowitz with the ball, just kind of wandering around back there. Ethan Schultz will let him do so. No, I do know why the games were so tight and so close. It's the way that it's just the style of the two teams. Very patient. Stellick sends it out to Bonowitz. Here comes the cutter, and it's Dubicki this time. Opening up some space for Bonowitz, who's trying to take advantage of it. Over to Bergamo. Bergamo will bring it back outside. Keegan Cavello keeping an eye on Bergamo. Out to Stellick. Or is this Dubicki? This is Dubicki. Trying to make a move against Desmond. Desmond cut him off. Dubicki lost control. Picked up by, kicked ahead more. Yeah, more than anything. That ball is not going to be picked up by the Lancers. The Centaurs can't get to it. Whose ball is it going to be? And the officials say it is the Centaurs who will get the ball.
I think while it's a close game, you can stay patient. I think if somebody gets down or up by a few, you might see something change.
But that might change the strategy.
But for now, I think it'll probably stay kind of a
slow pace and kind of wandering through. Ball gets back behind the net. Gunnar Bassick trying to pick it up for the Centaurs. The Lancers end up with the ball, however, and the call will go against the Lancers. So the Centaurs will get the ball back. This is Patrick Griswold for the Centaurs. Gets it over to Camden Marshall. Over to Thomas Coleman. Coleman sends it in there at the top. That's Seamus Coleman, I should say. No, it's Thomas Coleman. This is his real name, but we call him Seamus. Ball on the far side will go over to the Lancers. Sends it downfield. That ball bouncing along. It'll be picked up by whom? Be picked up by the Lancers. Going the other way is Dubicki. Dubicki races down. Sangassi all by himself on an island, and Bonowitz took advantage. On the pass from Dubicki, Bonowitz converts.
Yeah, Bonowitz kind of faked going up high and then just dropped down low and put it in the lower right corner there.
Set up on the carry by Dubicki downfield, and no one paid attention to Bonowitz.
Yeah, Dubicki came in there with a bunch of steam there.
He did. And so Bonowitz was able to take advantage. That is his second goal of the game and gives the Lancers a 4-3 lead. Cavello and Gaeta again on the faceoff, right in the middle of the field. 7.5 to play here in the third quarter. Gaeta, and we're going to get a call against the Lancers this time. So the Centaurs will get it back. And we do have the Centaurs making a little bit of a move down in New London. 5-3 now the score. Abby Converse scoring off an assist from Clara Dowdle. There in the third quarter, that ball is shot over the top by Dylan Phillips. The first shot of the half for the Centaurs.
Yeah, it looked like Phillips just trying to take it on himself there.
Keegan Cavello with the ball for Woodstock Academy.
Yeah, Woodstock hasn't been able to find that cutter since kind of that first quarter, really.
Really, yeah. They've been kind of stymied by the Waterford defense. This is Phillips. At least in this half so far. We're halfway through the third quarter. Phillips sends it in back. I think he was expecting a person to cut up, and he went cutting inside. Instead, the ball goes out. Last touch by the Centaurs. He'll go back over to the Lancers. He's coming over to get it. It will be Miles Gaeta. Up ahead, the Lancers over on that far side. Bringing it downfield.
Baseball's
3-0. 3-0?
3-0, top 5.
Top of the fifth, 3-0. Woodstock Academy leading Lyman.
Softball's 5-3, bottom 6.
Bottom of the sixth. Montville making a little comeback here.
Yeah.
It was 5-1 at one point, now 5-3 in favor of the Centaurs. So thank you, Colin Singleton, keeping us up to date on those things. As we continue to have everything. There was like a bunch of games today that were going on.
Very busy.
But that's the way spring works. And by the way, congratulations to the Woodstock Academy track teams, both of whom pulled off wins yesterday. 81-67 for the boys. I think that's their first dual meet victory since 2021. So that kind of gets the monkey off the back, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You wanted to get that done quickly, and they did. That ball bounces away. The Centaurs girls, 119 1/3 to 22 2/3. 22 2/3, something like that. 26 2/3, something. But they beat Stonington as well. With the ball for the Lancers, Cole Baumgartner. Over on the far side is Stellick.
Yeah, if you're Woodstock, you really don't want to get down 2 here with the pace of this game, Ben.
Yeah, I don't know if he can wake up in time to come back from that. Stellick sends it in on Sangassi. He makes the save, but Bousquet almost got the rebound. Nice job by Sangassi to go back and
we're
get
gonna
it.
stay with it. As Bousquet was thinking scoop and score right
That's
there.
That's exactly what he was thinking. Sangassi put his net right over the top of the ball. Ball pops out to Dylan Phillips. Phillips bringing it downfield. Phillips trying to come through there. Phillips goes down in a heap, and the call is going to go against the Lancers. I think it was Miles Gaeta who, on the push. Third quarter is over in New London. The Whalers lead that one 6-3 after 3. So the officials again discussing things.
Phillips kind of shaking.
And they are going to take a person off. I was thinking they must. So they're taking
a little bit of confusion out there, but some new personnel coming in for both teams gives Phillips a chance to kind of shake the
Shake the
injury off a little
cobwebs
bit.
out?
Yeah, I think he maybe took a hit on the hand there.
4.5 to play here in this third quarter.
Chance to tie it here.
Patrick Griswold with the ball for the Centaurs, back behind to Bassick. Bassick sends it to Phillips. Phillips turns to the left side and sends it out to the point. Back into the middle to Cavello. Cavello back over to Phillips. Phillips inside to Desmond. Desmond spins, turns, shoots, scores! Sam Desmond off the feed from Phillips.
All right, all tied up again. Phillips has been involved in every score today.
Yeah, that time the assist to Desmond. That's his second assist, as well as the 2 goals that he has. So a 4-4 game, 4:08 to play here in the third. And Rowan Gaeta and Keegan Cavello again will face it off right in the middle.
Yeah, Keegan's had his hands full with Rowan Gaeta on the face-off.
He
that's
has.
for sure. He's
I
been
will
tough.
say the Lancers have gotten a little bit of the benefit of that. As once again, Gaeta, well, this time he didn't get it back, but the ball goes bouncing into the Woodstock end. It'll roll out, and the Lancers, I think, will get the ball. Nope, it will be the Centaurs' ball. Last touch by the Lancers.
Yeah, I don't think Coach Dion over there on the Waterford side agreed with that one, but
I wonder why. But Waterford will get the ball anyway as they bring it the other way. And we'll sit back now and wait for them to develop their offense. With the
Waterford
ball.
really spreading it out here.
Yeah, they're kind of just holding it back in the X position right now. That's Bonowitz with it. Taking a look around at things and seeing how things go. Bonowitz sends it back into the middle. Picked up there by the Lancers. They'll keep possession of it. I think this is Bergamo with it. Tried to get it. No, it's Bergamo. Actually, has Westcott now, who tried to get over to it and could not get to it in time. So it will go back over to the Centaurs. Woodstock Academy with the ball. Down the field to Dylan Phillips. Oof. Getting hit, getting pummeled, gets the ball back. Phillips comes through. Phillips sends it and taken away by the Lancers. The long stick got in the way. Ball, however, is lost. It's picked up by Waterford once again. Dominic Munsell for Waterford, trying to bring the ball up the field. Hayes turned around the other way, but the ball popped right into his teammate's hands. Or stick, whichever you prefer. Back down we go and back down to the X. Bousquet may decide to settle this one down a little bit. Bousquet holds on to it. It got a little frenetic here for about 10 seconds.
It's been a pretty quiet crowd and
pretty
benches for the most part,
game,
but,
patient game. You know, you get moments where, oh yeah, we got to go, and that's about it. And then we kind of sit back and relax.
Under 2 minutes here in the third.
That's the only thing. The clock does run pretty quick when you're not doing very much. This is Bonowitz with the ball. Bonowitz looks over at Baumgartner. Bonowitz trying to keep it in that short stick. Has to bounce outside as Logan Rumrill was on him. Back over to Baumgartner. And Baumgartner will bring it around.
Almost looked like they were trying to set up a pick play type there.
They do set plays, I will say that. And they like their set plays, and they wait for them. This is sent in by Wheeler. His stick was tipped as he shot. But the Lancers will pick up the ball. Bousquet picks it up. Final minute here of the third quarter. Bousquet to Bonowitz. Back behind the net. Turn around out there by Stellick. Stellick, you're trying to look for some help. brings it back outside. 42 seconds to go.
Stellick does have a nice spin move. Seen
He
it a
does.
couple times.
Stellick will bring it out. Stellick then gets into the middle. His stick was hit from behind. The ball went straight up in the air. But the Lancers will keep possession because of the fact Bonowitz was back there. It's their fourth shot. Technically, it's a shot. Centaurs have only had one shot this third quarter. Sent in, and that one stopped by Sengasi.
Good solid save there.
Yep, off the stick of Bousquet. Final 10 seconds.
Gonna have to launch.
Picked up there by the Lancers. They'll have one more opportunity. Wide of Sengasi was Stellick.
A little dangerous there.
A lot dangerous there.
Yeah.
4-4 the score. We've played 3 quarters here in this boys lacrosse matchup at the Bentley Athletic Complex.
Make your next night out a simply memorable one. The mansion at Bald Hill on Plain Hill Road in Woodstock has only you in mind. Your comfort is their mission, your pleasure is their goal, and your happiness is their reward. The mansion at Bald Hill is a historic landmark that has taken on a new life as a premier restaurant and an elegant bed and breakfast, residing in the quiet corner of northeastern Connecticut. With on-site catering and an upscale banquet center, the mansion is private and secluded, offering the perfect setting for a delicious meal, special getaway, or private event. The Mansion at Bald Hill welcomes you and looks forward to your visit, whether it be for dinner, an overnight stay, or a weekend getaway for that special occasion. The Mansion at Bald Hill on Plain Hill Road in Woodstock. Simply put, spectacular. Treat yourself. You deserve it. Call the Mansion at Bald Hill at 860-974-3456. That's 860-974-3456. Or visit them on Facebook, Instagram, or Pinterest.
We're talking with Jay Long, Director of Commercial Insurance at Girardi Insurance Hill Group. Jay, tell us about the acquisition.
We are the Hill Group. Girardi Insurance is a part of the Hill Group Companies, which is a national agency with markets throughout the country. We now have access to additional resources, additional carrier markets that really put us in a place to succeed going forward. Girardi Insurance was around for over 100 years, and we're looking to be around for the next 100 years.
And how's it working out?
Our merger happened several years ago. Customer service with the Hill Group is basically unchanged from Girardi Insurance. If you walked into our office, it's the same faces. And to the customer, it is seamless. But what has improved is that we have state-of-the-art technology, almost unlimited market availability, but above all, we are still driven to keep improving to help provide better advice, guidance, and refining our overall customer experience. The great piece about the Hill Group is that it allows us to continue to have our local relationships, commitment to the community, and national resources.
Girardi Insurance Hill Group. Call 860-928-7771. See them online at girardionline.com.
And we're back underway here for the fourth quarter. As with the ball, Keegan Cavello came away with it off the face-off and then threw it away. Unfortunate. Phillips came in and he tossed it out.
Yeah, airmailed Phillips a bit.
Went a little bit beyond where he wanted it to go.
Excited there to get
it's like, what is
adrenaline
this?
rush, getting a face-off win.
We'll give you some more updates as we go through here. We got a couple of other ones. I'll tell you, that sun goes away, and it gets chilly.
I feel like the temperature dropped 10 degrees in the last 10 minutes.
It was like all of a sudden the sun went behind some clouds on us, and not a good thing. But right now the Centaurs still leading the Lyman Memorial Bulldogs in the bottom of the fifth, 3-0 in baseball. And in softball, in the bottom of the sixth, the Centaurs lead Montville 10-3. Here it's all tied at 4 between the Centaurs and the Lancers. And that ball goes beyond Bassick, who was back there. But they're going to set the Lancers are going to get the ball back, I think. Sherwood has it in his net. Yeah, he does. They'll send it up forward. This is Porter Watson for Waterford. Up ahead quickly. But that's quickly is kind of a misnomer because they're going to slow it down for sure. Tyler Welch had it.
Not much has been done quickly here today by either team.
No, it's been a slow motion game. No question about that. Both teams very patient, just kind of waiting for things to develop. As with the ball is Bousquet. 12-3 now, top of the 7th. Woodstock only 52 through 5. Okay, not too bad. So Brady Erickson leading 3-0 in that game. So Brady Erickson is still pitching, I guess. For some reason, Game Changer was showing me something else.
Yeah, and the pitch count, that's important because that's what they go by now.
Correct.
No longer outs or innings,
No.
it's pitches.
This is Bonowitz with the ball for Waterford. Bonowitz will bring it outside. Bonowitz trying to bring him inside now, sends it, and it'll be just wide of Sangasi.
Yeah, he had an opening there. Clear look at the goal. Shot it wide.
4-4 the score. Why did we give you the overtime rules at the beginning of this thing? I don't understand why we did that. Kiss of death. As this time a goal, however, coming across was Cole Baumgartner, number 20, who scores for Waterford. And just as I say that, away goes the tie. Baumgartner coming through, making a 5-4 game. Lancers back up on top. Well, how uncanny would it be for another 7-6 game? Huh?
It's right on schedule.
It's right on schedule. See where it seems to be headed. Gaeta and Cavello on the face-off. Ball pops to Cavello. Cavello tries to come out of there with it. Cavello gets the ball taken away. Picked up by who? Nobody. Still on the ground. Now picked up by Waterford. They get it over to Sherwood. That's a safe place to be.
Yeah, Woodstock's had some trouble coming up with the loose balls today.
They have. The ground balls have eluded them. Watson sent that ball forward. The Lancers will pull it back into their normal scenario. Bousquet over on the far side. Now Bonowitz with the ball, waiting for things to develop. And now they have the time to play with. You have a goal lead. You can play with the time a little bit. Fortunately, the sun also came back out.
Some point, Woodstock might have to get a little more aggressive on the defense here.
Yeah, you may have to. You may have to force some issues. Bonowitz just holds the ball in back of the net. Stellick comes across, but Bonowitz just changes places with him.
There's that pick play.
Here's Bonowitz, who sends it in. Low runner and gets it to go. So Bonowitz with the goal for Waterford. That is his third. He's got the hat trick.
Not particularly hard shot, but a well-placed shot.
That low runner on the ground, hard to stop. You got to get right down low, and as much as Sangasi tried to, there was still enough room underneath to get that one in.
This is our first 2-goal difference of the day, I believe.
6-4. Yeah, you're right. We haven't really had that one at all. The 2-goal leads or anything like that. Gaeta will pick up the loose ball. Pulling it back out will be Stellick. 12-3 final. So Woodstock Academy softball goes to 2-0 with the win over Montville. Stellick against Genet. Over to Bonowitz. Bonowitz with the ball. They get it, and it's taken away by, well, it's still on the ground, and now it's picked up by Stellick.
Definitely see Woodstock starting to turn up the pressure a little bit. They kind of have to.
Well, when you're down by 2 now, you can't let them sit out there and not do anything.
Down by 2 and have had trouble scoring.
Yeah. Haven't had a lot of shots here in the second half either. They've had 1 shot in the second half. Right in front is Bousquet. That one was turned away by Sangasi. Bonowitz picked it up. That's turned away by Sangasi.
2 good saves by Sangasi, keeping him in it.
Yes.
I got to feed off of that now.
So Sangasi will give that one away. Up ahead they go to Cavello. This is Phillips right in front of us. Logan Delfarno corrals that one and then falls to the ground. Pushed down by Dubicki, yeah. So it will be Woodstock ball. As Dubicki goes out with a man down. And also going out will be Delfarno for the Centaurs. 7:20 to go. Got a barn burner going on here in New London.
Oh,
the Centaurs have come back. It's only 6-5. Kaylee Saucier on an assist from Forcier. 59 seconds to play in that one. So 6-5 New London, but they could be headed into some extra minutes. If they're anything like the, who was it the other night? Vancouver Canucks, who scored 3 times in a minute?
Jeez.
To tie the game, and then they won it. Was it the Canucks who did it? Was it the team playing the Canucks?
You're asking
Vancouver
the wrong person.
It was a record for the NHL, first time that it's ever happened. Phillips took that shot, but Sherwood was up to it and made the save.
Put some steam on that shot there.
He did, but Sherwood hung in.
Sherwood's had some really nice saves today.
Along that far side, the Lancers. Bousquet with the ball. Gets it over to Wheeler. Back over to Bousquet. This is Bonowitz working his way through. Bonowitz over the top, knocked away. It may have hit the post because it bounced away so heavily.
Yeah, Bonowitz has been tough.
Yeah. This is Bousquet over to Stellick. 6.5 to play in this one. 2-goal lead for the Lancers. They're in no hurry.
No, they are not. They'll find just holding and playing keep away here.
As with the ball, Stellick tries to take it through the middle. Stellick will give it up to Bergamo. Bergamo back to Stellick. And he'll control things out there. Chenet kind of keeps an eye on him. Stellick brings it well outside. Now, if you're the Centaurs, I don't know if you can sit there too much longer.
Yeah, the tough thing is you can't just bring people from the other side of the
No, you
field in to
can't.
help out because you're limited to how many players you can have in each half.
So Bonowitz back behind the net, but you have to your defense has to step it up a notch and be a little bit more aggressive. Here's the Lancers. Bergamo just reached out and swatted it back towards his offensive side, and Bonowitz picked up the ground ball. Against Desmond. Gives it over to Bousquet. We'll pull it back out.
Yeah, you got to do a little kind of risk reward here and overplay a little bit on defense to get the ball back.
As we head our way towards the 5-minute mark left. Bonowitz goes down. Back behind the net.
Oh, they're going to call.
Yeah, they're going to call.
From behind.
But the Lancers do have the ball, so they have the advantage.
Yep.
A delayed call. That ball goes away. The Centaurs get it back, and now the call will go against the Centaurs. As Keegan Cavello picked up the loose ball, they will send Desmond to the sideline.
Very difficult now.
Player down. And now the Lancers can waste some more time. You have a man up, your man up over there, and everything like that. So you kind of have things going your way. Baumgartner with the ball for the Lancers. They get it over to Dubicki. They work it around to Stellick. Stellick. Oh, that ball was turned away a little bit, knocked down a bit by Donovan Manis. Got a little bit of a tip on it.
There first, good hustle there.
Nice job by Sengasi to get there before Bonowitz did.
Laid out to do so, but it was important.
They got the ball back. That was a big thing. And 4.5 to play, you need the ball. And you can't waste too much time bringing it up either. You're down by 2 goals. The ball is loose at midfield. Dylan Phillips tried to come up with the ball. Keegan Cavello comes in, lays out a Lancer. Ball is popped up into the middle. It's picked up by the Lancers once again. Coming back the other way was Tyler Welch. Got it up ahead to Stellick. Stellick has been solid in that role, just holding on to the ball.
I mean, they don't really even need to shoot here if they don't want to.
They could hold on to it for a while. And now we're going to get a timeout, I think. Yep. Timeout call by the Lancers. 3:56 to go in this one. 6-4. The Lancers up on top.
Hi, this is Jeff Busquet.
And Kaylin Busquet of Steve Busquet's Appliance and TV, your hometown appliance store. We've been committed to providing the lowest prices and best customer service in the area for over 35 years, and we are excited to continue this tradition at our newest location, now open at 600 Main Street in Willimantic. We carry and service your favorite and most trusted brands of appliances, TVs, and furniture.
We know you've all heard about back orders in the appliance industry, but at Busquets, our salespeople can find you what you're looking for in stock and ready to be delivered. Amana washers and dryers are only $4.89 each. Whirlpool front-load washers and dryers are only $8.49 each and can handle a king-size comforter. Frigidaire 18 cubic foot refrigerators are only $6.75. And just arriving, a new batch of Scratch and Dent appliances at our Willimantic store. Scratch and Dent are brand new with a full warranty. We have 18 cubic foot refrigerators for $5.99. Side-by-side refrigerators start at $8.99. And remember, at Busquets, we service everything we sell and take a year to pay interest-free.
Check us out at one of our locations in Danielson and Willimantic or online at busquetsappliance.com. Pay more, what for?
And Busquets Appliances right now, Avery says at Busquets Appliances that it's grillin' time. How about a 36-inch griddle, only $5.79, or a 3-burner Genesis with sear burner, only $8.49, or a 3-burner Spirit Grill, only $4.99 right now at Busquets Appliances in Danielson and Willimantic. Great job by Jeff, and in no relation to Busquet, who's playing on the field right now. Dubicki for Waterford, over to Baumgartner. That ball goes up over the top of Sangassi. Stay with Waterford. 3:56 left to go in this one. 6-4 lead for the Lancers over the Centaurs. With the ball is Ethan Stellick. We do have a final from New London. The Whalers defeated the Centaurs 7-6 in girls lacrosse in that one. Still 3-0, bottom of the 6th in baseball. The Centaurs leading the Lyman Memorial Bulldogs. That one out in Lebanon. Boys tennis still has to play tonight against Montville. I think they're under the lights and indoors, 6:30. That's the way to play tennis.
Yeah, right.
I'd play tennis that way. Coming across, sending it in, and just missing the goal wide was Busquet. Lancers will get it back, though. This is Dubicki. Into the middle. That one's rolled. I don't know if Sangassi got it. It hit the post, yeah. That ball back into midfield, and a call will go against the Centaurs. So Waterford will take the ball going the other way with 3:07 to play. Dubicki had the ball knocked away by Dylan Phillips, but that ball goes out, and it will stay with the Lancers. Lots of yelling and screaming, not a lot happening. Let's put it that way. Ball's in the middle of the field. Shanae could not hold on to it. Yeah. Bonowitz tried to pick it up for Waterford. A lot of sticks flying. The ball is still on the ground. It's Dubicki picking it up for Waterford against Kellen Coleman. Dubicki over on that far side now. Dubicki pulls it back out, gets it over to Busquet. 2.5 to play. Busquet wanders around on the outside. Now goes back behind the net. Busquet kind of wheels his way around, and Sangassi knocked that one down, but they're going to call
the goal for Busquet.
Are they calling it the goal? Did it get in there? It got in. I thought he knocked it down. It apparently snuck in for Busquet. And a 7-4 lead now for Waterford. Well, 7 goals is what is won it the past 2 times. And the Lancers have reached that level with their 7th goal there.
Certainly would seem that would be enough.
2:23 left, and you're up by 3. And the Centaurs have only scored 4 goals in the entire game so far, so it's going to be yeah, you could call it that. What were I saying about the Vancouver Canucks?
That's right.
Maybe? No. Who knows? Maybe. That ball is to Rowan Gata. He's done a nice job on the faceoffs. Up ahead to Mason Nasseri. Gets it over to Stellick. Stellick against Genet.
Going to literally run out the clock here.
Yeah, they could very easily do so. Genet has got to really kind of hope that he can knock that ball loose or something, because Stellick is not going to let it. Well, he let it go to Bousquet that time. Now the Lancers deciding, and are we getting timeouts? Yeah, we're going to get a timeout again. Timeout with 1:48 to go. 7-4 lead for Waterford over Woodstock Academy.
Make your next night out a simply memorable one. The mansion at Bald Hill on Plain Hill Road in Woodstock has only you in mind. Your comfort is their mission, your pleasure is their goal, and your happiness is their reward. The mansion at Bald Hill is a historic landmark that has taken on a new life as a premier restaurant and an elegant bed and breakfast, residing in the quiet corner of northeastern Connecticut. With on-site catering and an upscale banquet center, the mansion is private and secluded, offering the perfect setting for a delicious meal, special getaway, or private event. The Mansion at Bald Hill welcomes you and looks forward to your visit, whether it be for dinner, an overnight stay, or a weekend getaway for that special occasion. The Mansion at Bald Hill on Plain Hill Road in Woodstock. Simply put, spectacular. Treat yourself. You deserve it. Call the Mansion at Bald Hill at 860-974-3456. That's 860-974-3456. Or visit them on Facebook, Instagram, or Pinterest.
He's the freshman.
Okay.
Like he would eat all the other freshmen. He's pretty hard to make.
Okay, well, we're back live on the air as we had a little discussion about baseball, trying to figure out some things. The game changer is confusing us. Let's put it that way. Because we have two different pitchers in there. We've had Colin Erickson in there. We've had Brady Erickson in there.
Brady's pitching. I think Colin's just been right.
Well, Colin pitched maybe the first inning.
Oh, did he?
Well, you got 1 inning for him and 4 2/3 for Brady. So I'm not sure. Maybe. So that's just a thought. We were just looking at the game changer and trying to figure it all out. This is Rowan Gata with the ball for Waterford. Lancers up 7-4, 1:38 to go in this boys lacrosse contest. The start of our spring sports season for us, broadcast-wise, on Woodstock Academy Live. This is Bousquet. Runs around back behind the net and then brings it outside. And then he'll bring it back to the other side. And then we're going to get a call going against the Lancers. Procedure against Waterford. So go over to Woodstock Academy. This is Genet, or actually Desmond, I should say. Desmond takes down Dubicki. The two of them kind of collide a little bit. Dylan Phillips came up with a loose ball.
Getting a little chippy out there.
Getting a lot chippy out there. And then the ball goes out. It'll stay with the Centaurs. Tyler Welch and Desmond and Phillips, everybody was kind of tied up there for a little bit. Desmond gets hit hard by Dubicki. Those two don't like one another right now.
That's going to cost.
That's going to cost. Yep, no question. I think Dubicki will go to the sideline here.
Yeah,
from behind and
to the head.
Yeah,
I think a double whammy there.
Yeah. Double indemnity. So Dubicki will go to the sideline. 54 seconds, however, is all that remains. And a 3-goal lead for the Lancers over the Centaurs. Like we said, we're not sure of our next broadcast, but we'll let you know as soon as we do. And we don't know what sport it's going to be. It could be a bevy of them right now.
Lots to choose from.
Yeah, but we'll come up with something for you shortly. Not next week, though. Someone has to go on vacation. I'm not the one. The ball comes into the middle. It'll be picked up there by Sherwood for the Lancers. The goalie back outside. Final 40 seconds to go. Coming through was Gunnar Bassick. Could not pick up the ball. Taken instead by the Lancers. Downfield they shove it. That ball gets past the Lancers. And they've got a push, and it'll go back over to Waterford.
Yeah, I think just Woodstock's inability to get those grounders today really was a difference maker. They really struggled.
Yeah, the loose balls did not go their way.
No, they did not.
That and the fact that I think they allowed Waterford to kind of lull them to sleep at times almost. And then they get the cutter and they get the nice shot and they turned it into a goal. And the fact that they only had 2 shots in the second half, that's another problem. The Centaurs did not have a lot of offense in the second half. That is the second time in 2 games that has happened. So if I'm Jason Tata, I start looking at that a little bit and saying, okay, what do we have to do here in the second half? They only scored 1 goal against Ledyard Griswold, and here they did not score. They scored 1 back in the third quarter, but they only had 2 shots. And that will end this game. Ended in a little bit of a confrontational way between the 2 teams, but that's to be anticipated between 2 sides who have been pretty heavily competitive, let's put it that way. And this game was competitive, don't get us wrong. I think the Centaurs did a nice job hanging in there, but by the same token, Lancers just had a little bit too much firepower at the end.
They kind of just slowly took control of the game as the game went along.
And took the win 7-4 over Woodstock Academy. So the Lancers will go to 2-0 on the year, and the Centaurs will fall to 1-2. Couple of we have those other finals for you once again. 7-6. New London beat Woodstock Academy in girls lacrosse today, and a little tight one down there in New London. The Centaurs girls softball team 12-3 winner over Montville. The baseball team right now, they're in the top of the 7th inning. Centaurs leading the Lyman Bulldogs out in Lebanon by a score of 3-0. Well, the next time I'm not going to be joining you, but at least the class will be joining you tomorrow at 8:15. Tune in to Woodstock Academy Live on both the Woodstock Academy YouTube channel and the Woodstock Academy website for the first spring sports preview show with the boys soccer team talking about the Jefferson Cup win, which was pretty special, and also with the baseball team hopefully coming off their first win of the season over Lyman. For Colin Singleton, who's been helping us out, and Aiden Soderman, who had to run away quickly, for Dan Vogt, I'm Mark Allard. Your final score once again here from the Bentley Athletic Complex. Waterford prevails over Woodstock Academy in boys lacrosse by the score of 7-4. Have a great spring break. If you're a part of the Woodstock Academy community, we'll be seeing you on the other side of that on Woodstock Academy Live.
You have been watching Woodstock Academy Live. This copyrighted webcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without authorized written consent of the Woodstock Academy. The Woodstock Academy would like to thank all our fans for your support, and we hope you've enjoyed today's broadcast. Today's game has been brought to you by
Jewett City Savings Bank, a member FDIC.
Girardi Insurance Services. The O'Brien Group, a financial advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. The Mansion at Bald Hill. And Busquets Appliances in Danielson and Willimantic, with production support provided by Oconchabar Productions, LLC. Remember, today's broadcast is available to be seen on woodstockacademy.org/live. This has been a production of the Woodstock Academy.